The National Register of Historic Places database from the U.S. National Park Service and the Department of the Interior is a useful resource for finding information about properties listed in the National Register of Historic Places. This register is an official list of the nation's historic places that are considered worthy of preservation. According to the website, the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966 authorized this register as part of a program to support both public and private efforts to identify, evaluate, and protect America's historic and archaeological resources. While this database contains lots of information regarding sites and properties designated in the National Register, please remember that it is a work in progress and they have not yet digitized all documents. Also, it is notable that they cite the Freedom of Information Act on their website. To illustrate the usefulness of this database, we can consider a potential reference question from a college-level patron doing research for a social science class that is covering national historic sites. They might ask the following. I need information about a site in LA that is a National Historic Site. I think it's called Ennis House. I know it was used in a movie with Vincent Price and was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. I need to know when it was included on the National Register and when it was nominated. I also need to describe the property too.
And you're invited to my party in the house on Haunted Hill, where so far the ghosts have murdered only 7 people.
Looking at the main page of the National Register of Historic Places database, you'll notice that you can select Browse or Advanced Search, or you can do a simple search from the home page. The information in this database uses the Dublin Core metadata format and allows a variety of ways to search with Boolean combinations. What this database offers is scans of documents concerning properties being listed in the National Register, as well as photographs and other related materials. This is enhanced for retrieval with metadata, including such things as subject categories and the significance of a property. Let's do a quick and dirty search first. We can type Ennis House into the search box on the home page. This retrieves one result, which when clicked, brings us to the record for the site we are looking for. So before investigating other options for searching and browsing, let's go over this record to learn more about what this database can offer. First, at the top, you can click on the thumbnails to view the images which are available in JPEG and Deja Vu formats. The Deja Vu format is supported on the National Parks websites and is a plugin that aids distributing documents in a reduced size for easier storage and less bandwidth. Find out more at www.camanova.net. For our purposes here, I will stick with the JPEG version. Clicking on the document opens it in another window, which we can then browse by the next previous page buttons or by clicking page numbers at the left. We can also zoom in and out or pan around the image. And you can also download JPEGs of each document in a variety of sizes for printing or saving to your hard drive. Going back to the main record, we can also choose to view an image of the property. There are also PDF links indicated in the URL fields. These open the same documents, but in a PDF format, which can be easily downloaded and used to locate the information this patron requires. Let's take a look. Page 1 has the address of the site and information about the category of the site. Also ownership, status, and information about a survey of the property. On page 2, there is a detailed description of the site, something our patron needs. On page 3, there are statements about the significance of the site and its architectural bearing. The 4th page has bibliographical references and also notes the latitude and longitude of the site. Also, the form is stamped as received January 25, 1971. And below that, there are statements about the nomination and the inclusion of this site in the National Register. On October 16, 1970, the State Liaison Officer for the National Historic Preservation Act, whose signature appears here, nominated the property for inclusion in the National Register. On October 14, 1971, it was certified on the National Register. This is what our patron wants to know. The next page of our PDF shows a poorly scanned map, and the final page explains that the map is of the Hollywood Quadrangle from 1966. This represents the typical type of document digitized in the National Register of Historic Places database. It is a great source of information from the government about historic sites of national significance. Going back to our record, we could also click the second URL for a PDF of the photograph of Ennis House. Further in the record, you can see other useful metadata, such as the publisher, National Park Service, and the published date, 10/14/1971. It also describes formats and access to these records, as well as languages. The metadata also includes the address of this property, as well as subject categories, and also keywords, Frank Lloyd Wright in this case. All of these fields can be used to locate information in the advanced search. Here again, we could enter a resource name, meaning the name of a property. But let's say we didn't know that. What if the patron only knew it was a house in LA designed by Frank Lloyd Wright? In advanced search, we could use geographical location to select state, California, enter Los Angeles for the city. Notice we are leaving the Boolean and connecting the geographical information with the other sections we will use. Or and not searches could also be applied here too. For subject, we could indicate architecture as the area of significance, or we could select architectural style if we know it. Let's leave this blank for now. And moving on to the next section for keywords, here would be a good place to enter names of architects or builders of a property. Let's enter Frank Lloyd Wright. Clicking search, we come up with a list of 16 items. Ennis House is the one we want, which is the 5th result listed. You can also locate materials by subject area. Say the patron knew it was a modern architectural style and was in California and was built by Frank Lloyd Wright. In advanced search, you would enter California under geographic location, select modern movement under architectural style, and building as resource type. Then enter the keywords Frank Lloyd Wright and hit enter. It is number 3 in our results list. Some tricks for searching this database. Note that the search function has some quirks, and often broader searches will bring better results than being very specific. Unless you are very sure and know exactly what you are looking for, it is very easy to miss something if you are too specific or guess at what a site might be classified under. Keywords, site names, and geographical references greatly improve your chances of finding what you want. Also, the search time on this site can be rather slow and very annoying and frustrating. Going back to the home page and clicking on Browse, this allows you to explore the site with what essentially amount to running predefined searches. You can do this by applicable criteria or why the historic place has significance for inclusion in the National Register, the area of significance, architecture, agriculture, etc., all the way to social history and transportation, architectural style, colonial to modern to mixed, and so on, as well as the period of significance of the site. And finally by the resource type, building, district, site, structure, or object. Also, visiting the Download Center, you will see finding aids that are available using Firefox and Google Chrome. There is also a help section that offers tips for browsing, searching, and viewing files from their database. So if you get questions about historic sites and need government information, the National Register of Historic Places database is a great resource for that information. While the search does have some quirks and simpler searches are often more effective, it does offer public access to important documents concerning the nomination and preservation of our treasured national historic places.